Well, this is different. When you look at the laws, in 2004, we had the NFA Act. In 2004, we also had the National NIS Act. In 2009, we had the National Sports Policy. Prior to that, we had a policy on sports and social development. The latest one we have, which is in 2009, is devoid of the business model. It is essentially sports development devoid of the business. When you put that in the park, other sporting regimes across the world, you see that they're clearly behind. That has been the bane of sports development. We've not been able to leverage private funding. We've not been able to turn sports into business. So the National Sports Industry Policy, work has been ongoing for 3 years before I became minister, working with the NESG. What I've done is to accelerate that process towards developing a business model around our sports. And in June, the Federal Executive Council actually, for the first time, reclassified sports from mere recreation to business. You go to Jamaica, you go to Brazil, South Africa, countries where sports is built around a business model. You see the results. In the UK, $42 billion every year. In the US, $38 billion every year. Globally, $1.3 trillion. In Nigeria, $350 million. Now we want to explore the possibilities, the potential, so that this country can also try to reap this from sports.
So how much is government's funding for sports? So how much of this change, this policy drive, will affect government funding?
Well, if you know how policy works, when sport was classified as recreation, it had no budget. It was not seen as a business activity. It was not contributing to the GDP. The kind of government investment needed for that industry was unavailable. Under the 3 I's and 1 P, policy to drive investment on the part of government and private sector, incentives on the part of government for investors, and developing infrastructure across the country. If we have these 3 pillars, the necessary funding will come from public and private.
Talking about infrastructure, the Abuja National Stadium and the Lagos National Stadium, Chief Alhaji Aliko Dangote and Aaron Engineering. I have no record of where Aaron Engineering, having built some facilities in Nigeria, have done pitches across the country of world standard.
Well, to the contrary, I will urge you, I'm a journalist myself, to do a bit of background check. You need to dig deeper. And let me just say, for record purposes, they adopt a pitch model for private participation. It's simply a process in which we get an organization or an individual interested in adopting a sport facility. We offer our expertise to present to them 4 or 5 professional sport developers. Particularly when it comes to pitches, you must have a FIFA license. Aaron has a FIFA license. And if you check, they've done 3, 4. I don't want to be a salesman for them. But the Dangote Group have a process that took 9 to 10 months before they decided on Aaron. And we give them all a checklist of what they must check. Must be FIFA, whatever, must have a reputation, must have done works. It took 10 months for Dangote to pick Aaron out of 5 others. We're satisfied with it, and I'm sure that when the work is done in February next year, we will all see FIFA will come and certify it. If it does not meet FIFA standard, Aaron will have to deliver FIFA standard.
So your media head of judge last week on the local radio station, they got this talk about the National Sports Festival, said that the ministry is keen in ensuring that festival is hosted this year with the non-contact sports. So you want to use this opportunity to reiterate this. And secondly, with the election coming up this Saturday, Are you thought maybe in a way that the outcome of this election may mark or mark the national sports system?
I do not. I'm a very enterprising and adventurous young man, but I also know my limits. As a sports minister, I restrict myself to sports and youth development. And if you understand what I mean. But let me respond to your first question. It is our desire to have the National Sports Festival, which I call the Nigerian Olympic, to take place this year. We have shown a commitment. We've had a team, we've had a report in which they have suggested October for the National Sports Festival. Based on the COVID-19 infection rate and other indices, COVID-19 infrastructure, protocols. We've been working with the PTF, we've been working with NCDC and the Health Ministry. Like I said, the ministry will be properly guided. When the numbers are right, we will have that festival. It's going to have both contact and non-contact sports. The world has started both contact and non-contact sports. There are protocols in place. There are best practices. If we repeat the same thing here, we can get on with our lives.
When do we hope to start sports in general,
well,
contact sports?
Very soon. I had a tweet on Sunday night, and that's really clear. We're having conversations that are ongoing. In a matter of weeks, like I said, we've provided all the necessary documents and preparations. Remember, 2 months ago, we submitted to the National Assembly, to PTF, the COVID-19 sports protocol that focus on contact and non-contact sports, with a particular section dedicated to football. So we're all set. And I think in a couple of weeks, like I said, the conversations are going on. We're on the same page with the health authorities, with the PTF, and I'm sure very soon, in a couple of weeks.
Two more things before we let you go, sir.
One last
Okay. In your list of non-contact sports, you did not include athletics, which I think is non-contact, and then the traders at the National Stadium who are crying out in Lagos. Is there any sort of plans for them?
Yeah, non-contact sports. Athletics are given. It's given. By mere people running on the track, by the definition, it's given. And we just assume that those in the sports world know what is really a non-contact sport. If you want to do wrestling, it's not a non-contact sport. Athletics, you maintain different tracks, track 1, track 2, track 3, and you see the way it's spaced. If you're running the entire 400 meters or whatever it is. So athletics is part of the non-contact sport. And of course, in another 2 weeks, where is Dr. Bujai? We hope to open a camp in Akure, one in Abuja, one in Pangshin, to help our athletes get off the rustiness of the COVID-19 lockdown. It's going to be a 2 weeks camp. We'll have about maybe 100 of our athletes go there for 2 weeks, and we'll pay for all of that. Lastly, the national stadium. Because there's COVID-19, that has not stopped the police from checking crime or making sure that there's security. COVID-19 cannot serve as an excuse for illegality. 18 years hence, we have seen that place being used for purposes other than sports. We have started a new regime of trying to develop our sporting infrastructure, a new orientation around sports. This facility in Surulere is an iconic monument to sports development. It is a sporting complex. Any other purpose for which it is used will not be accepted. It's not a market. You understand? It's not a beer parlor. What we're just trying to do is return that place to its original blueprint and prepare it for concession. The concession process is in its last stage. We're receiving people with their submissions. That is the last stage. They must have access to that place unencumbered. And that's why if you go there now, you'll be shocked that that stadium is actually that beautiful, because we're taking those things down. And we are sure that before the end of this year, we will see changes in that place. And we will hope to be able to build a 150 shopping mall that all these people can come and be in a single, unified, and decent place.
Thank you very much.